All right, looks like I'm live. Good afternoon. Yeah, it's afternoon already. Oh, sorry. Why wasn't I looking at that time? Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Thursday live broadcast. Welcome to PTM Hangout. Who is with me? If you are with me, if you're here right now, please let me know you are with me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's that time of the day. Are you watching me or are you with me on Facebook or on YouTube? Wherever you are, please let me know in the comments if you have joined me. If you're on YouTube, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button and join us in that community so that you don't miss out on any of the things that we do. And remember to use the notification button, right? The thumbs, remember to use that so that you get notified every time we have something up in the group, okay? Or every time we have a video drop, or we go on any of our live sessions. Very, very key. Now, if you are on Facebook, you have a friend that needs to be here right now, you have a friend that shouldn't miss out on this topic of today, then you need to hurry up and tag them right now so that they can join us right away. We are moving. This train is about to move. All right. My name is Maribeth Chima. I am the convener and the founder of the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy. You can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. But majorly, we are on Facebook. Okay, so welcome to today's live session. Call this a Q&A. Call this a time for us to bond. Call this a time for us to rub minds. Whatever you want to call it. But make sure you are here every Thursday at 1 p.m. and make sure you invite as many people as possible who need to be here. If you don't have a friend, if your friend, the people in your circle, your friends, your family members, your neighbors, the people who teach your children, the people who work with your children, if they are not in on what you are doing on your parenting journey, if they are not getting the same knowledge and experiences that you are getting, then you need to look at your system again. It's very important that the people who are equally influencing your children or the people who work with your children, it's important that you are in synergy. It's important that you share the same values. It's important that you are on the same page. So it is a responsibility. Okay, it's a responsibility to ensure that you have as many people who work with your children, who support your children, come here to learn some of the things, to learn what we are teaching here, okay, and share the knowledge that you are getting from this and other parenting platform with these people. It is very, very key. Let me say this, parents, whatever you need to do to get knowledge in parenting, okay, do it by all means. Wherever you have to be to get knowledge about parenting, please do it, because that singular action will set your child apart. That singular action will set your child apart again and again. Awesome. So yes. Today we're talking about how we can teach our children to value hard work. If you have read the post in the group, if you have read my post that I made earlier this morning, you would have seen me, quote the regular quotes, right, that we have. I don't even know if it's credited to anyone, but anyway, I'm sure at one point or the other, each of us has heard that it is important to work hard and not smart, right? I'm sure you have heard work hard and not smart. Okay, you need to work hard, not smart. I'm sure you've said that to your child at one point or the other. You need to use your head. You need to work hard. Okay, you need to work smart and not hard and all that. Okay, so this is a narrative, right? This is a narrative, and I'm not even here to say that this narrative is wrong or that this narrative is right. Okay, but I am more concerned about how this narrative comes across to your child. Please, if you are here, say something in the comments. We need to know that we have company. Okay, don't just be in the background. Say something in the comments if you are here, and tag a friend that needs to be here. Tag a friend that needs to be here. Let them know that we are out. We're out to play. Okay, let them know that we're outside. All right, so tag a friend that needs to be here anyway, so that we can do this. All right, let's make this as engaging as possible. If you're here, talk to me on the comment section. Okay, I need to know that I've got company and you are following. All right, so yes, I'm not, as I said, I'm not here to talk about to dispute whether this narrative is right or wrong. Not at all. I am actually here. All right, so I'm not here to dispute whether this narrative is right or wrong. Okay, I'm more concerned about how this narrative, how your child perceives this narrative, or how children, take this message and how they internalize them. Okay, from my work with parents and children. Okay, thanks for the opportunity. Okay, you're welcome. I can't see who wrote that. I'm actually streaming from StreamYard, and if you don't give StreamYard access for me to see your comments on Facebook, I may not be able to see. I will see the comments, but I won't see who's dropping the comments. All right, so thank you very much. Okay, it's good to have you here. All right, so yes, so I said I'm more concerned about this, how this comes across to your child, or how your child perceives this narrative when you pass them down and you say to them, you need to work hard and not, you need to work smart and not hard. Okay, now from my work with children, with parents, and with people who have been with me, who have lived with me, my children, and all of that, this is what I have come to realize. When you say to a child, or when you imply to a child that you need to work smart and not hard, these are some of the possible things that that your child perceives from that comment or from that narrative. Okay, one is, I need to focus on my books. I need to focus on my schoolwork and not engage in hard things like chores and anything like that, because it is when you are intelligent, when you are brilliant, when you do well in school, that is how you become successful. Now, this is one of the ways that these comments can come across to your child. Okay, so this is one of the ways that these comments can come across to a child. Another way that your child can perceive this comment is, I need to have money to live the good life, right? I need to grow up and make a lot of money to live the good life, so that I do not have to do anything for myself. So yes, I will get a cook, I will get a cleaner, I will get people who will do everything for me. Okay? That's working smart and not working hard. So I don't have to do any hard work. I have enough money to afford people to do everything for me. So that's another way that your young child, okay, that a young person can perceive the word, can perceive that narrative or the message that says you need to work hard, smart and not hard. Another way they can look at it is, I can't be in a workplace or an office where a superior officer is sending me around or trying to toss me around, right? I can't be in a place like that. I can't be working hard. I'm here to work smart. If it has nothing to do with working on the system, if it has nothing to do with what is in my JD, I am not interested. And so if it gets hard, if they stress me too much, I pack my load and I walk out of the office. I can't come and kill myself. That's another way that our children perceive that narrative, when we keep saying to them, we need to work smart and not hard. As I said at the beginning, I am not saying that this narrative is wrong or right. I'm not even disputing it. I am just more concerned about how the young person or the child that you are narrating this to, or that you're using this phrase for, might perceive it. Okay? Number 4 way that a child might perceive it is, I can't stress to build relationships. I can't put myself through any form of stress to build relationships, whether that relationship is with the people at work, the people in my family, my friends, or anybody. I cannot stress to build relationships. If anybody wants to stress me, man, there is no need. After all, I have 5,000 friends on Facebook, 5,000, 10,000 followers on Instagram. This. So I can do well with the people that I communicate with or I have conversations with online. So I can't stress myself to build relationships. Now, these are some of the ways, right, that simple narrative or that simple message that you're passing down to your child and saying, oh, you need to learn to work smart and not hard. Okay, when you pass it, your intention is good. But these are some of the ways that it can come across to a young adult or to your little child without you knowing it. Okay? How do I give? Okay, someone is asking, how do I give StreamYard access? Okay, I'm not sure if you can do that on this post directly, but check just check the post, the write up on top. You will see where you can click. Okay, there's highlighted a clickable link that you can click. I think that says give StreamYard access. If you click that, then you will get to fill, I think, just answer one or two questions or something like that, and then you can give StreamYard access. Okay. So the other day I went to the market with my kids. Okay, I went to the open market. With my kids. So I try to go to the open market with my children at least once in a month. Okay, so I'll go with both my kids to the open markets now. Now, because I have one open market that is close to my house, so it makes it a lot easier, right? And of course, naturally, the children do not like, children would prefer to go to the supermarket than they would like to go to an open market, isn't it? All right, so we were at the open market, and my daughter, my 6-year-old, she was 6-year-old at the time. So my 6-year-old actually had this big frown on her face, and then she said to me, Mom, sorry, this is too much on me. So she said to me, Mom, why do we have to come to the open market where we can just simply go to the supermarket and get the same things? Okay. And then luckily it was her brother who answered and said to her, right, that he said to her, there are many reasons why the supermarket is very good, but there are reasons why, it's just more beneficial to come to the open market. One, you can buy things in bulk in the open market. Okay, that the vegetables and fruits are actually fresher because they must have come from the local market that day. Okay, better still, because he has gone to the local market with me, so he understands this. And he says, better still, if you even buy it from from the local market where it's fresh, and would last for longer than when you get it in the supermarket. He also said to her, do you know they're actually cheaper here than they are in the supermarket? So why spend more when you can spend less? That's what my 12-year-old was saying to his baby sister, who was wondering why we had to come to the open market. Okay, so for him, that was a reason, right? But for my daughter, this was working too hard. And you can't blame her, right? You can't blame her, because working in that open market is actually working hard, right? And the supermarket is just really easier, right? You just pick the things off the shelf and you are gone, isn't it? So he had an explanation for her, right? Why that is. Why pay more when you can pay less, right? So that's his own understanding, isn't it? Right. Now, I had a parent once, a parent reached out to me once, and she said to me, right, you could tell that this parent was very pained. She actually said to me that her daughter is the most selfish, right? She said her daughter is the most selfish and most self-centered person that she knows. And at this time, we're talking about, I think the daughter was about 14 or 15, right? At the time, I think so. She was in like JSS 3 going to SS1. So she said to me that her daughter is the most selfish and self-centered person, that she knows. And I asked her, so why would you say that? Or why do you say that? And then she went on to narrate to me how a daughter will never help anyone. She would never ask you if you needed her to do something for her. She would never help her younger siblings when they need help. She would never go out of her way to do anything for her or for anyone, as a matter of fact. If she would even come round to doing anything for you, then you must have asked her for that thing. And a lot of times she would do it grudgingly. So basically, however you step out of the house and leave the house, with her daughter who happens to be her first child, in that house. But that's the same way you will come and meet it no matter what you do, because she would never go out of her way to help anybody. Okay, so I asked her, I said to her, okay, all right, so I can, I'm getting the feelers, right, why you would say your daughter is this particular way. Then I asked her, okay, so is that some other person who can do these things? Or have you always had some other person who did these things in your home? And she said, yeah, she's always had house helps, she's always had domestic workers and all of that, 2, 3, at different points and all of that. All right, so I'm like, okay, you always have about 3 domestic staff in your home. And then these domestic staff, they do everything. So at 8, what was your daughter doing? Nothing. That the domestic staff were doing everything. At 9, the domestic staff were doing everything. At 10, at 12, at 13. And so all of a sudden, your daughter is 15. You can see a tall, pretty girl, right? All of a sudden, your daughter is 15 and you can see a tall, pretty girl, and you can, at this point, she's even taller than you. And then reality has hit you that all of a sudden you have someone who is almost an adult and will be leaving your home soon. And then as an African mother, somewhere at the back of your mind, you can already see someone that is going to be married soon, right? As an African mother, the average African mother is probably thinking that way too. Right. And then all of a sudden it hits you that, this young woman that you are about to launch out to the world doesn't even have what it takes to be supportive, to be kind, to be empathetic and all of that. And now you are running kitty all over the place. And now you are labeling this child. And now you see this child as a problem. At the time where she ate and dumped in the kitchen and walked away, at the time where she probably said nasty things to the people who worked, at the time where all of this was happening, in your head, she was a little girl, isn't it? At some point, she probably could have even heard you say, you need to work smart and not hard, okay? And she also told me that her daughter actually said, she actually heard her daughter saying once, that when she grows up, that she's not going to do anything, that she's going to have workers. She's going to have people do everything in her home. If you think it's just this woman's child saying this, I think you should have a conversation with your 12, 11, 13, your 12, 13, 14, your preteen and your teenager. Have a conversation with them, just try to, have that conversation to see what's going on in their mind and what their perception of the future is and how they see themselves in the future. Okay, chances are you will find that 95 or 98% of our children actually feel that the soft life, right, living the soft life, doing nothing that is demanding, nothing that is hard, nothing that that makes them break a sweat, is what it takes to work hard and to work smart and not to work hard. Okay? So you need to do that experiment. You need to do that experiment and see what your children think. And mainly, this is because our children have been sold the narrative that hard work is reserved for people who are poor. Hard work is reserved for people who are underprivileged. Hard work is reserved for people who do not have rich parents. Okay, hard work is reserved for people who are dependent on other people. And these children did not come with this from heaven. They didn't come with this from the day that they were born. These are narratives that we have sold to our children directly or indirectly. These are narratives that we have sold to our children, verbally or non-verbally. So yes, our children perceive that hard work is meant for, those girls that come from deep, those towns in Kaduna where there's crisis. They flush into Abuja in January and get jobs. Those ones that come from Panshin and Shendam in Jos, they flush into Abuja, flush into Lagos. These days even we have them come from Togo and all of those places. So somewhere at the back of our mind, you see these people who are underprivileged, and we employ them in our homes as domestic staff. These are the people who have to work hard. We do not have to work hard. We need to work smart. Okay? While I was preparing this class, okay, I went on to check, for other synonyms, okay? I went to do a bit of research, okay, looking at other synonyms that can replace the word, those two words, hard work, okay? And these are some of the things that I found out, or these are some of the words that I found out can replace the word, or those two words, hard work. Is it a phrase? Is it really a phrase? Anyway, hard work, basically. One of them is persevere, okay? Perseverance. Another one is try hard, right? Another one is commit oneself. Another one is commit oneself. Another one, what is this? My eyes. Another one is commit oneself. Another one is to thrive. Okay? To strive, to commit oneself, to devote oneself, to try hard, to persevere. These are the words that can replace hard work. Now, could it be, are we trying to say, okay, that it is okay that our children perceive that perseverance is for people who are underprivileged? Is it that our children should perceive that being committed is for people who are from poor backgrounds? Is it like our children should see being devoted to what you do as something that you don't have to do if you're working smart? Is it like our children should see the fact that you strive to achieve something as something that you don't need, okay, because you need to work smart? So you see where the narrative gets all twisted, okay? You see how that narrative can be all twisted if we do not stop after selling that narrative to our children, telling them how hard work is not necessary, smart work is what is necessary. I think you shouldn't stop there if you ever use that narrative. Hi, Blessing, good to have you. If you have ever sold that narrative to a younger person, if you've ever sold that narrative to your children, I think that narrative is incomplete until you're able to stay back there and clear the air, until you're able to stay down there and explain to your child that you know something. Hard work actually means to persevere. Hard work actually means to hold on and push a little more. It actually means to strive. It actually means to be devoted. It actually means to commit yourself to what you do. So if this is how you are applying this, or you are selling this narrative to your child, you will realize that place where children begin to think that they are not supposed to do chore, that place that children begin to think that they were born for the soft life, and the soft life meaning that they don't have to do chores, they don't have to wash dishes, they don't have to do clothes, they don't have to do all of those things. All they need to do is just do and dump, get house up and all of that, and these people will do everything for them. You need to clear that narrative so that our children do not grow up with mindsets that will actually sabotage them in the future. Because hey, our subconscious mind is where we operate more than 90% of what we do. 90% of over 90% of what we do emerges or emanates from our subconscious mind. So if in our subconscious mind, or in your child's subconscious mind, the child goes about thinking that people who work hard, people who have to do the hard work, are people who are from poor backgrounds, it means that you're raising a child who doesn't think that he's supposed to work hard. A child that thinks that he was created for the soft life. Okay, so as I said, while we are at this, we need to stay back and explain to them that hard work can be substituted for perseverance and trying hard and striving, and then being devoted and all of that. One more thing we don't add, or that we need to start adding when we're trying to help children understand hard work, okay, is that we need to add the word joyfully. Okay, so that's what we do. So a lot of times when we talk about children working hard and not smart, we don't add that singular word that makes all the difference, joyfully. So when you want to say to your children, you say to them, working hard joyfully is as good as working smart. Okay, working hard joyfully is as good as working smart, because we put this narrative that people have to work hard. So when children go to school, you tell them you need to do schoolwork hard. So schoolwork being hard means that you want to wake up and see your child with their heads buried in a book, right? He goes to school. You don't get any bad reports from school. You get, oh, he listens, he pays attention. So he comes home, and then a lesson teacher comes. Why is there? He's there with the lesson teacher. After lesson teacher 1 goes, lesson teacher 2 comes, and teacher. So we, in our head, it has to be hard. It has to be stressful. It has to look like you are tearing. It has to look like you are something is tugging at you for it to be, for it to be authentic. So it is because we go about with this narrative. It's the same reason you come to your home and then you find these people that are supposed to be your domestic staff, you find them relaxing or, watching a movie or something like that, and you get very upset. Or you come back and you find them sleeping and you get very upset, because at the back of your mind, working hard is something has to be tugging and pushing, and something has to be given. If we begin to see hard work, or we begin to define hard work with joy, with the word joyfully to read, then we will be selling the right narrative, or sending the right message to our children. So how about your child seeing that for you to do well in school, you need to enjoy learning. You need to be a lifelong learner. That when you learn, right, with a sense of motivation and a sense of, motivation. You learn with a sense of satisfaction. Okay, when the child does that, then schoolwork stops being hard work. It becomes hard work done joyfully. So because we always attach, pain and stress, so our children see the way the domestic staff, the people who work with us, our children see how hard they work. They see how much their work is tugging and pulling and stressful. And so our children assume that this is how work is. So yes, they don't want to work because work is too hard. Okay, so if we make our children begin to understand that work can be done joyfully, but it takes perseverance, it takes commitment, it takes trying hard to achieve something, it takes striving, it takes being devoted to that thing in a joyful way, then we would demystify this thought of work being hard. So it's because we present working hard as hard work, right? If you know what I'm saying, it's because we present it as hard work. That's why our children will constantly, come with that narrative. That's why you're struggling with your 16-year-old. That's why you're struggling with your teenager. Your teenager doesn't want to do anything in the house because everything in the house is assumed to be hard work and not something that they should do joyfully. Okay, so this, this is how you clear the air. Okay, this is how you clear the air. Okay, so instead of using hard work, use things like try harder, commit yourself, devote yourselves, strive. When you strive, when you commit yourself, when you devote yourself to something, then whatever you're doing becomes excellent. So this is how you demystify that word hard, and this is how you present the narrative of working hard and not working smart and not hard to your children, so that your children stop thinking or stop going about ready to pack their bag and leave every time something feels like it is hard work, and so that your children stop fighting you and fighting everybody who is asking them to do anything. It is the same reason when we say that our children need to learn financial, they need to they need financial education, right? When we say, oh, our children need financial education, our children need to learn how to convert their talent, how to convert their interest, how to convert the value that they give into products that can be used to bless people, into products that people need, that our children need to solve problems. And when they find that they're able to solve these problems, they're able to give value to people. Okay, we say, oh, it is time then to convert that service, to convert that value that they give into products that can transcend these children. So when we say, oh, we need to do this, then you hear parents saying, oh, I beg, the children need to focus on their schoolwork. All these things about money, it will distract them. It is the same thing, because you project these things as hard work. Because you present it as hard work, you project it as hard work. That's why you think you need to save your children from all of it, because it is hard work, it will distract them. Who told you that? Okay? 2 weeks ago, I was in the class. I was in one of these sessions. I was saying how my son runs 2 businesses. Okay, my 12-year-old runs 2 businesses that he has been able to convert into products, right? He's been able to interest that he has, things that he loves to do, that he's been able to convert into products that transcend him. That he's been able to transfer into products that blesses other people, that other people are willing, right, to take and then use for their benefit. Okay, and it started not yesterday or today. This is what this journey has started for the last 5 years. So for the last 5 years, he's done a lot of things. He's done a lot of things without even asking to be paid. He's worked with his friends. He's worked with his classmates. He's worked with children that he doesn't even know. We've put out there. He started his YouTube channel when he was 8 years old, when he was 7 turning on 8, right? So by the time he was 8, we had launched and all that. We would spend so much money creating those science videos, creating the models and all of that. And we will put it there so that children can just go there and learn science in a very easy way. At those times, I don't want to tell you how many people approached me and said to me, oh, his YouTube channel is not growing. His YouTube channel doesn't have a lot of subscription. It's because a lot of people don't know about it. Do this, do that. But at the time, this boy was only 8. The plan was not, I didn't even know, the plan was not to monetize per se. No, the plan was because we wanted to impact. He wanted to impact people, and we needed a platform. And YouTube became the best platform for him to come make videos without even realizing where he's at. He makes the videos, the videographer comes. At first, it was me. I would record it with my phone. I would put it on video, but the quality was really bad for YouTube and all of that, And because we wanted more people to enjoy his content, we had to get a videographer. So the videographer will come, make those videos, will pay as much as 40,000 sometimes for a series of videos, just so that he can put it there to his less than 200 audience. We just wanted them to watch. We wanted people to be blessed. We wanted children to learn science in a childlike manner, with models and all of that. You can check his channel out. Okay, it's Come See My Science, My World. Okay, just hit that on YouTube, and you will see a lot of videos that we created at the time, right? People approached me and said, oh, I can buy you audience. Oh, I have someone approached us one time and said he was leaving. He had another channel, and he had a channel that had 4,000, 5,000 followers at the time, subscription at the time and all of that. If we could pay so and so amount, so that he will hand it to Come See and we can continue from. I'm like, don't worry, this is not about the audience. This is about the journey. It's about the journey. Now, this was hard work. If you want to look at it, it was hard work. Sometimes he comes back from school on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, and we head out to the studio. We're using a friend's studio at the time. We'll head out to the studio. Sometimes we'll make those videos till 8 p.m. We will come back home at 8 p.m. and he has to go to school the next day. I'm talking about my 8-year-old now at the time. A lot of times, those scripts he has to, my son doesn't do scripts. So even if you write a script for him, you're on your own, he won't use your script. So a lot of times he has to study. He has to study for those videos. He will study. I'm talking of my 8-year-old in year 3 at the time, right? year three at the time. He would have to, year three, he will have to actually look, through. Sometimes there are subjects that he's learned in school. He will have to sit down and study. But while we were doing that, we were building research skills, right? We were building research skills. So you see your 8-year-old sitting down and going through an encyclopedia, getting points that he wants to put in the video to share with other children. That was hard work. But no, it wasn't hard work. I didn't present it to him as hard work. I presented it to him as impacting other people. I presented it to him as perseverance. I presented it to him as doing something joyfully. And so he was doing it joyfully. He enjoyed the fact that he got to school and his friends were like, oh, come see, I saw your video on circulatory system. He enjoyed that. And so when I say we have videos to do in 2 weeks' time, he's like, okay, mommy, and all of that. So basically, and it was his interest because he said, I love science. That's the only reason we're doing those videos, because he needed to give to the world some of that science that he loves, right? So basically, parents, it is what we project to our children that our children will begin to believe, and this is what they will go about with. So when you start struggling with your 16-year-old that doesn't want to do anything at home, when you start struggling with your 16-year-old that thinks that hard work is not for him, is only working with his computer, working with his laptop, that's the work for him and everything, ask yourself, what have I projected to this child over the years? Ask yourself, how have I presented, working and giving out value or doing productive things? How have I presented all this to my child? Do I have something or a role that I have played in all of this? Okay? So now, working smart. Okay? Working smart. The moment you can teach your child that working smart is a thing, and it's a very, very important thing. But for you to work smart, it means that you would have looked for things, you would have looked for skills that will help you do the work that are supposed to be hard in a way that is easy. Let me take that. Working smart comes tools. You are able to use habits, right? To do the things that are supposed to be hard. You're able to use the right skills, the right strategies, the right habits to do the same things that are supposed to be hard in a way that is smart. That's what whoever came up with this narrative, I am very sure that is what the person was thinking about. How you can take that work that is supposed to be hard and then use the right tools, the right strategies, the right knowledge, the right approach, the right habits to get that work done in an easier way, which only happens because you are being smart. So that's where you replace the smartness. Okay, you replace the hardness with the smartness. Hi, Uche, I see you, sis. Okay, thank you, Grace, for joining us. Blessing, I see you. Thank you, everyone who's joined us. So that's it. So before you take a narrative or you just want to join the bandwagon and start telling your children all the things that you hear around the place without understanding it, please, parents, we need to be intentional enough to stop and understand what we want to deliver to these children before we deliver it them. Because our children are young, and so they cannot reason the way you reason. Okay? They cannot reason the way you reason. So a lot of times they will take the things you say literally. The way you say them, that's how your child will apply them literally. So yes, when we say to you that your children need financial education, it is because we want you to start stepping down knowledge to your children. We want you to start making the children understand the psychology of money. We want you to start making your children understand how money works today so that they will access the right tools, the right strategies, the right habits, right? That will help them create, or what's the word I like to use? I like to use create wealth, right? That will help them create wealth in a way that is smart and not hard. So yes, if you have not registered for the master class that is coming up tomorrow, then after this class, I think you should run and register for that class immediately. Because this is what it's about. We are not there coming to tell you that you should open a kiosk for your child to start selling Fanta. We're not there saying to you, you should open a kiosk. I mean, you should start a business for your child if your child is not ready to start a business. That's not what that class is about. That class is about shifting your mind, right? It's about shifting your mind from looking at wealth creation as something that only has to be done when your child has gained a good education, you are schooled in the right school so that you can come out and you can get a good job. And when you get a good job, and then you have a good life. We want to shift your mind from that. Okay, I went walking with my children today. We went out this morning for a normal morning exercise, and then we got talking. Okay, we got talking, and somehow we got into talking about money and all of that. And I said to them, do you know that to make money is different from being able to create wealth? So I said to them, what was that example I used though? There was someone. Okay, yes, I told them a story of a friend, right? I told them of a story of a friend that they know, a family friend that they know, and how this family friend had a vibrant job, was doing well, vibrant career and all of that. And then how he got into, he had a misfortune at some point. He had a misfortune that almost incapacitated him at the time. I told them how the company that he was working with at the time paid him, for the first couple of months, 1 month, 2 months, I don't know how long exactly, but they paid him full salary. After a while, they stopped paying him full salary. They paid him about half his salary. And then a time came, they had to let him go because they needed someone to fill in that position. Okay, and that's because he had a job. He was making money. Okay, so at the time, because he wasn't physically present to take on that job, because he wasn't physically present to fill in that position, someone who was more physically enabled was employed to take in that job, isn't it? So yes, as good as it was, with his results that of course must have qualified him for that job. At that point, there was nothing they could do. He had to leave the job, right? Now I said to him, this is someone who was making money. That's what I said to them. This is someone that was making money and not creating wealth. Because a person who is creating wealth, does not need to be at a destination, more or less. A person that is creating wealth goes to sleep and his creation is able to make him money even when he's sleeping. A person that is creating wealth, as in, let's not go into this. Let me not even come and spill, a bit of what we're talking about tomorrow, right? So please, it's only 1,000 naira. So I don't know what the problem is. It's 1,000 naira. Please pay your 1,000 naira and come to that class. Let's have a conversation. Okay? Let's have a real conversation where we're not in the hurry. Pay 1,000 naira and join us in that class. My team would have, the details of what you need, of the link that you need to click on, or the details that you need to take to pay and join us in that class already. We already have close to 40 people who are taking that course already. So that master class, please go ahead and pay the 1,000. Let's continue this conversation there. But basically what I'm saying to you parents is the narrative. Tomorrow we are going to be giving up to 20 different narratives that you can use and put into a timetable that you will use to empower your children every day in an entire month. So imagine that you have empowering subjects, you have empowering tools to use and motivate your children every day, for every month. Please, it all begins in the mind. When your subconscious is carrying the right narrative, the right belief, the right mindset, this is what it will serve your children every time. Don't get it twisted. All right, so I'm going to run quickly into some of the things that you need to do to help your children work smart rather than work hard, since you don't like to hear the word hard. Okay, so Let's go. Okay, so they have to work smart and not hard. So it begins with you as a parent. If your children are going to learn how to work smart and not hard, since we don't like hard work, okay, it begins with you. How are you empowering your children today? It begins right from when they are from the cradle. That's when you begin to build certain habits. You have to start building certain habits. You have to start building certain mindsets in your children. You have to start giving your children the right things to believe, right? You have to start creating the right blueprints in the area of money, in other areas, basically, so that your children have this as a working document towards what they are looking, towards the goals that they need or they want to achieve when they become older. So number one is planning. If you're not helping your children learn to plan today, if your children do not learn how to plan from your home, then you are setting them up to do hard work. If you like, say from today to tomorrow that it's not hard work, it's smart work. If you're not teaching your children how to plan, then you are not setting them up to actually work smart and not hard. So planning begins the day before. So for whatever it is that you're doing in the morning, it's important that your children are doing it in the morning. So the kids are going to go to school tomorrow. They're back at home. They've rested, they've played, they've done their homework and all of that. Give them a few minutes before they go to bed, maybe just before prayers. Tell them we need to get ready for school tomorrow. Let them take 10 minutes. Let them take between 5 and 10 minutes to get ready for school tomorrow. It doesn't take so much. These things is just because we are not available or we're not intentional that we don't get them done. Not because they are hard to do. Make it a 5 to 10 minute exercise. What does it take? It takes ironing your clothes if your children can do that already, or taking the clothes that Mohammed or Isa has finished ironing for them. Just hang them and put them right where the child can access the clothes on their own, because we want to raise children who are independent. Your children, if they are anywhere above 5 years old, should be able to do for themselves to a great extent, okay, some of these things. So you don't have to do it for them. Even for your 3-year-old, all you need to be is around to point them and then help them when they need help. Raise your children in a way that your children can seek help when they need help. Don't do things for your children. Let your children do things for themselves and be open and close enough to say to them, you can ask for my help if you need help. Okay? So your children after 5 years old should be able to pick their uniform, pick their clothes for school, wear them on their own, and all of that. Okay, so let them put the uniform where they can access it or where they can reach it easily in the morning. Get them to wipe their school shoes and put them in the right place. Get them to have their school bag packed. The homework they've done, don't let them leave them on the dining table or at their workstation after they are done with their homework. When they are done with their homework, get them to pack it back, put everything right where, let the bag be set today for tomorrow. So when it's time to go, all your child needs to do is stretch the hand, pick the bag, hang it, and it's out to school. Let your children plan a day before. When they do that, the subconscious mind takes it in, and then while the child goes to sleep, the mind prepares you or prepares the child for the next day, because he has actually told the subconscious mind what he wants to do the next day. So it makes it easier and it makes it less stressful for your child, because that stress has been taken away just knowing that I have done what I will need to do tomorrow. Okay, we take these things for granted, but they are huge, okay, and they are important in the total well-being of your child. Okay, you start stressing children right from when they are 2 years old, and then you are there shouting, you need to work hard, smart and not hard, when you have prepared them for a life of working hard. Okay, you have prepared them for a life of working hard. Right? If you don't teach them to plan this way, they wake up in the morning and all that shouting, where is your shoe? That is you stressing them already. That's the hard work that we're talking about. Let's not get it twisted. All right. Number 2 is eat the big frog. Teach your children to eat the big frog. My son read that book, I think last year or something like that. Eat that big frog. Okay. Let your children do 20% of the things that are more important, okay, to them. Right, so teach them to eat the big frog. Let them do the things that are more important first. Those 2 things, okay, the few things that if they do, every other thing can happen later. but let them do those two things. Let them prioritize. Basically, that's what you're teaching them to do. You're teaching your children to understand priority, the things that are more important, and then for them to focus on those things. So when you teach your children to prioritize, to think of the things that are most important, and they get to do these things, this is how you begin to teach them to work smart. Okay, don't allow your children spend all their time doing the two least important things. So at the end of the day, even when they have finished doing that, I mean, there is no progress because they focused on the things that are not important. If you check your routines and you check your schedule and you check what happens in your home, you realize what I'm talking about. The things that are not important that your children spend their time doing. So let them focus on the things, the 20% of the things they have to do that are more important. Let them focus on those things. Okay? Number 3, dear parents, make time for play. Let your child, as far as that person is still a child, and when I say a child, right? When I say a child, I mean your child from 0 to 18, and you're still parenting them. Please create in your schedule, in your plan, create room for play. I know what I'm talking about because I know parents that their primary 5, primary 6 child does not even know what it means to play anymore. The routine is, whether it is spelt or not spelt, is back to back. They go to school, they come back at 4 or 5 o'clock. They get home, the lesson teacher comes in 10 minutes. In fact, sometimes the child is still wearing the school uniform when the lesson teacher shows, right? He's still wearing school uniform when the lesson teacher shows. Lesson teacher comes in, the child rushes up, changes, comes back, and then he finishes the lesson. Lesson teacher goes. Your child goes upstairs or goes into the room, take a bath, comes back, sits down, homework. The child finishes the homework. In fact, sometimes the child is dozing like this by the time homework is done, and boom, the child is in the bed. Nothing. When you talk, you say they played in school. Who told you that? There is the place of your child deciding, I want to play. Right? How do I put it? So there's that regulation where in school it's 10 o'clock to 10:30. That's when they go home. So basically, they've been instructed. There is that place where your child is at home, and the child knows that there is that block of time where he can free himself, can do whatever he wants to do. And your child decides to initiate a play, initiate a task, initiate an activity on their own. This is where intuition and problem solving, task initiation, decision making, that's where it comes from. Okay, when your children are programmed, or how do I put it, when your children are instructed to do things, creativity does not come in. But when they have to initiate things on their own, creativity comes in. So yes, even in creating your routines at home, I like to do blocks. Okay, give them blocks of time. Okay, so from 3 to 5, you have your time. Okay, let your child decide that from 3 to 5, I want to go outside and play with sand and water. I don't stop my daughter. When my daughter goes out, I'm telling you, provided it's not any, she's 7 now. She's 7, and my daughter is still good. I wish I could turn my system and show you the space where she has just finished doing her thing. Right? She goes out and she still plays with the teens and sand, water. She comes back dirty from head to toe. She just turned 7. Hey, is that what you want to do? Go on and have fun. Let your children play. Don't take the place of play. Okay? Now, when they play, they're able to do things joyfully. A person who is relaxed, who has played and all of that, when the person has to work, the person does not work grudgingly. It's the same thing with you. You work all through the year. Time for leave, they say, no, you can't take it. Time for this, they say, no, you can't. I want to go on a vacation. No vacation this year. We're not making money in the company. Can I go for someone's party? Oh, you can't do that. Oh, this one that died, I want to go. No, you can't. You will be stressed as a person. They can't get the best of such employee. It's the same thing as with children. I don't know why we want to think that these children are any different from us. They're just mini us. Okay, it's the same thing that applies. So a child that does not have an outlet to release stress, does not have an outlet to do his thing, cannot play and all of that, is a stressed person. So yes, it's hard work at that point. So very, very key that you do that. Okay, number 4, I said don't be too critical. Okay, don't be too critical or strict about your schedule or your routines. I just said that. So don't be too critical or too strict with your schedule. Do them in blocks, right? Rather than 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, no, just do them in blocks from 10. Like we have family time in my home, right, from 6 to 8:30. Now from 6 to 8:30 is family time. Now in that family time, from 6 o'clock, the kids and I go into the kitchen. We cook at 6, right? We cook at 6. Now we must have finished cooking by 7. We cook at 6. They have their bath at about 7. We eat dinner somewhere there, and we have Bible study. We read a beautiful book while we read a beautiful book or a Bible story and all of that while we are at dinner, and we have our conversations and gist and all of that. So sometimes when we are done, while one person is clearing up, the other person is returning. While one person is clearing up, the other person is doing the dishes. Another person is probably preparing a game. Maybe we decide we want to play Monopoly, or we want to play Ludo, or we want to play Scrabbles, or we want to just share a book, shared reading, anything we decide to do. This is it. We just share, as a team, each person just takes care of one part. I'm probably doing one thing, my daughter is doing one thing, daddy's not at home, most times in the evening like this, except during the weekend. So we just share ourselves like that into tasks, and we're done with the task in like 10 minutes, and then we come back and we can have our family time. So it is blocked. At 8 o'clock, we stop, we take a book, each of us reads for leisure. Okay, we call it stop and read. We just stop and we read for leisure. Take your book, read your book, whatever book, wherever you want to read it, however you want to do it. And at 8:30, we are done. So 8:30, I can come back here and do my work because I'm done with the kids at that time. So that's when my daughter will probably pick a book and go in and tell her dad, can you read me a bedtime story? That he reads to her and she goes to sleep. Our son will probably pick a book. My children actually wind down with books. Okay, they wind down reading a book. So my son would actually take a book to read till he sleeps and all of that. So basically, that's it. So anything I can do with you during the day, you hear me say, can we do it at 8:30? I have like 30 minutes, 8:30 to 9 o'clock, basically. You need to incorporate these things, okay? Number 5, and the final one I need to go is treat your time. Teach your children to treat their time as a currency. Let them treat their time the way they treat money. So basically, teach your children right from when they are young that they cannot spend their time. They cannot waste their time. They cannot use their time with people, with things that are not productive. So yes, this is part of why you have the routine. So even during this holiday, have the block of time. Let there be the time for your screen time. That's what we call it. During that screen time, you can have video games, TV, whatever you want to do. You can have it during that time. Enjoy yourself. But no, I'm not going to allow you binge the whole day from 8 o'clock, from 10 o'clock to whatever, because you're on holiday. No way. You have that block of time. Use it to enjoy your screen time. You cannot keep dedicating your time to things that are unproductive. Teach them that about people also. You can't give your time having those conversations, talk up and down the place, do that roadblock and everything. Nintendo, roadblock, this one, that one, it's okay. Do it from this time to this time. After that, it's okay. And you have another time to talk to the person or to gist with the person tomorrow. You can come and give someone 1 hour, 2 hours of your time. Teach your children it is okay to miss out. Teach your children this if you teach them nothing, that it is okay to miss out. You can have 10 of your friends in a room chatting, and it's time for you to go. Please just say to them, hey guys, I'll see you tomorrow. I gotta go. Your children need to learn that it is okay to miss out. Most of the trouble we have today with our teenagers, most of the trouble we have today with our preteens, most of the trouble how our children get lured into porn and drugs and all of these things is because our children are afraid to miss out. So whenever their friends come and, hey, you missed, you did not show up, you missed. Tomorrow he's looking for how not to miss. It is in all that you miss that they get to do everything that every person out there without boundaries are doing. You cannot choose the friends that your children have, but you can create the boundaries to keep them safe even within their circle. That is, of course, I expect that you must have taught your children how to make friends or how to pick their friends and how to decide who they allow into their inner circle and their outer circle of friends. I hope you've done that. Maybe we'll look at that one of these days. Okay? So basically, let your children treat their time like their money. Am I ready to just take my money, go to my piggy bank, break, or go to my bank account, break it, take my money and just fling it around? Am I ready to do that? Now, if you're not going to do that to your money, then you can do that to your time. Very, very key. If you have not registered for the masterclass, look here on the screen. You will see the information actually scrolling on the screen, in this video right now. Just take it right now and make payments. Let's talk more in that class. Or I think Christabel has actually put the information in the comment section. You can actually click there and then join us in that class tomorrow. If you are on YouTube, you can know, I don't know, our YouTube comments. We don't see our YouTube comments after the session. I don't know why. Okay, but I think the link, I don't know if I put the link in the description. If it's not there after this class, just check 10 minutes after this class. I must have updated, the description, and you will have the link there where you can just click and then join us for that masterclass tomorrow. It's at 7 p.m. Is at 8 p.m. Christopher, is it 7 or 8 p.m.? Is at 7 p.m. Okay, if you click the link, so just click the link and join, and then we'll have you in the group and you will know the time. I think it's 7 or 8 p.m. Okay, we put it at a time where everybody will be free to sit down and be a part of that class. So thank you very much, everyone who has joined in this session today. Thank you for your time. We do not take it for granted that you allow us be a part of your parenting journey. As I always say, I am your co-pilot. You are the pilot, but I'm always here to support you 100%. Because guess what? I am on this journey too. I'm still doing this journey like full time. All right. Thank you very much, parents. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely rest of the day, and see as many of you as possible at the masterclass tomorrow. Bye. Thank you very much. Oh, I didn't even check for questions, but let me see. Let me see if there's any question. No one should pay for chore at home. Yes, so you must make the child understand that they are a part of the family and must contribute. Absolutely. You got that right. Yes, ma'am. A good way to build life skill joyfully. Yes, 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 yes. Science, yes, please check that YouTube channel out and all of that. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely rest of the day. Bye.